Greetings. This is my first Life Enhancer video for a while, and I'm very excited today to bring you the 35th of my 60 plus Life Enhancers. Today we're kicking off the Mental Health Edition, which sounds a bit airy-fairy, but I've tried to cherry pick what I consider to be fairly unique and very powerful, simple, easily applicable mental health techniques that are potential game changers if applied appropriately and consistently. Today is adult to adult. By the end of this, I will show you how adult to adult, otherwise known as transactional analysis, will help you potentially shift from a mindset of dealing with other people as a child or as a parent or as a teenager rather than another adult. The ideal state of affairs for adults is when they're dealing with other adults to operate in an adult to adult manner. How to go about this? Well, it seems simple. We think, well, we just meet another adult and we just think of them as an adult. But far too many of us, particularly when we've been friends with someone for a long time, can fall into the trap of dealing with other people as children or thinking them as almost teenagers, or ourselves falling into those roles. It is a constant challenge to think of yourself as an adult and to think of the person you are dealing with as an adult. Sometimes this can even come across as being a bit harsh when you try to impose. It might seem almost that you're imposing on the other person that they should be an adult, but that's not what this is about. Where this is very powerfully applied is in the Alcoholics Anonymous world, where people come to the Alcoholics Anonymous and the key mantra is, if you want to drink, that's your problem. If you don't, that's ours. And Alcoholics Anonymous always talk about not enabling people, treating people as adults. Certainly being open and wanting to help people. They are passionate about that. These people volunteer and give up incredible amounts of time. I know people in this area that have just devoted large swathes of their lives to help other people. But that comes in the context of transactional analysis. That is where we are operating in an adult to adult environment. Often a lot of the psychological counseling work operates around this, where people will come in and they are still dealing with parents when they're in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, and when they deal with their parents, they revert to a child or a teenager type role, even though they themselves are 40 or 50. And it can even reverse, where some parents then start to act like children around their own parents. And this is a very powerful technique, adult to adult, as in the picture thumbnail to this video, rather than adult to child, adult to teenager, adult to adult. Now, there are obviously times adult to parent, adult to teenager, adult to child. Certainly if you're raising your children, then clearly it is an adult to child. And it would actually be dysfunctional to impose an adult to adult. And that actually is something that unfortunately we do see a little bit of, where we expect children to almost be like mini adults and we assess them as a mini adult. No, they're not adults, they're children. And that requires a totally different, quite different set of skills and approaches in terms of interpersonal relationships. So to sum up, I'd like to emphasize that people do a stock take of their relationships with other people, thereby ensuring that when they're dealing with other people over the age of 18, it is in an adult to adult relationship. That's the gold standard, and that's what should be aimed for and achieved 99.9% of the time. And I think this could be a powerful contribution to a lot of people out there, improving their quality of the relationships with the other adults in their life, which is by and large most of their interaction with other people. So thanks very much for your time today. Looking forward to the next contribution to mental health, similarly to this approach. Doesn't cost anything. It doesn't require any special training or special techniques, although I would certainly always recommend people do their own homework. There's a lot of literature on transactional analysis out there. But just to sum up again, adult to adult, when dealing with other people, which is essentially almost all your interpersonal relationships, the back of the mind, you're not dealing with a child, you're not dealing with a teenager. Don't revert to bad habits. Keep it at a sophisticated expected results. You expect from them as an adult certain things, they expect reasonably so of you certain things as an adult. So thanks very much today, and goodbye.